The massive space station floated silently above the neutral planet, Civitas Prime, its metal surface gleaming under the light of a distant star. Aliens from dozens of worlds moved through the corridors, their eyes filled with suspicion and curiosity. Today was the day of the Great Galactic Summit, a meeting that could decide the fate of many civilizations. In the central docking bay, ships of every shape and size arrived one after another, each carrying diplomats and their guards, armed to the teeth and ready for any attack. Whispers and murmurs filled the air as alien species watched each other carefully, but all eyes were drawn to the small human ship gliding in silently. The ship's hatch opened, and out stepped the human ambassador, Elias Core, tall and calm, his uniform crisp, and his expression unreadable. Behind him walked the human diplomatic guards, a team of 6, moving in perfect formation. But there was something shocking about them. They carried no weapons. Alien diplomats stared in disbelief. One of the tall, 4-armed Zeltrons whispered to a companion, "Humans dare to come unarmed." Another reptilian delegate hissed in warning, "This is madness. They cannot survive like this." But Elias Core simply smiled, his eyes calm and focused. The human guards moved through the docking bay with confidence, scanning the crowd and maintaining awareness of every detail. Their posture was relaxed but alert, every step precise. They carried nothing but small devices on their belts, tools for communication and protection, yet no guns, no blades, nothing to harm anyone directly. As they entered the main hall, a sense of tension filled the room. The alien delegates adjusted their weapons nervously. Murmurs grew louder, and some openly shook their heads. The humans' boldness was unmatched, and everyone could feel that something extraordinary was about to happen. Elias Core raised a hand, and the hall fell silent, his voice calm but commanding. "Today we meet not as enemies, but as representatives of our worlds. We come to discuss peace, to prevent conflict, and to find a way to protect the galaxy together." The words carried weight, yet many aliens doubted their sincerity. Suddenly, alarms rang, and a warning flashed across the hall. A rogue faction had infiltrated the station, intending to disrupt the summit and create chaos. Alien guards rushed to draw weapons, but the human team did not move violently. Instead, they spread out strategically, observing and calculating. One of the intruders, a shadowy figure armed with energy daggers, darted toward the delegates, but a human guard moved smoothly, blocking the path with nothing but his body and a small energy shield. The intruder stumbled, confused and off balance, and another guard used a precise maneuver to redirect him away from the crowd. The alien delegates gasped, unable to believe what they were seeing. The humans were stopping attackers without weapons, using skill, strategy, and calm confidence. Elias Core continued speaking, ignoring the chaos. "We do not need guns to protect life. We rely on understanding, on anticipation, on trust." As the last intruder was subdued and the alarms silenced, the room filled with silence. Then whispers of admiration began. Some aliens bowed slightly, others looked uneasy, realizing that the humans' method was more powerful than brute force. The secret of their strength was not yet clear, but everyone knew that these humans were different. The first part of the summit ended with an unspoken question in every delegate's mind. What made these humans so formidable without weapons? And could this calm, unarmed team really hold the galaxy's fragile peace in their hands? The humans had passed the first challenge, but the tension in the hall did not fade. Alien delegates whispered among themselves, some still unsure if humans were reckless or simply fearless. The rogue faction that had tried to disrupt the summit had been stopped, yet everyone knew it was only a small test of what might come. Elias Core walked calmly through the hall, his eyes scanning the crowd. He approached the alien council, nodding politely to the leaders. "Peace requires more than weapons. It requires understanding and strategy," he said softly. Yet his words carried authority. The aliens were uneasy, not knowing if he spoke truth or bluff. Suddenly, the main doors burst open, and another intruder, faster and more dangerous than the first, entered the hall. This one carried advanced energy blades, moving with deadly precision toward the heart of the summit. Alien guards immediately drew their weapons, ready to strike, but the human team remained calm, forming a protective perimeter around the delegates. One human guard stepped forward, his stance steady. He did not draw a weapon, yet his eyes seemed to anticipate every move. He blocked the intruder's path with a swift motion, redirecting the attack with the minimum force needed to protect Another guard moved silently to flank the intruder, guiding him away from the crowd with expert precision. The alien delegates gasped, some in shock, some in awe. How could a group of unarmed humans control such a dangerous situation without firing a single shot? Elias Core spoke to a curious alien beside him. Our strength is in anticipation, discipline, and trust. Weapons are only a tool, not the measure of power, he said. The alien's eyes widened, trying to understand. As the intruder was finally cornered, the human team used a combination of body control, shields, and clever maneuvers to subdue him without harm. The energy blades clattered harmlessly to the floor. The hall was silent for a moment. The humans had demonstrated a skill that no weapon could match. An older alien, a scholar with glowing blue eyes, stepped forward cautiously, whispering to his companions. There is more to these humans than bravery. There is history, knowledge, and perhaps something ancient guiding them. Curiosity and unease spread through the room. The delegates realized they were witnessing a secret beyond their understanding. Meanwhile, Elias Core signaled to his guards, and they relaxed their posture slightly. Their calm presence filled the room. A subtle energy seemed to flow from them, almost like a shield that made everyone feel safer, yet powerful enough to stop aggression. Even the aliens with weapons lowered their arms, unsure how to react. The rogue faction's leader, hiding in the shadows, observed the humans silently, a frown on his face. He could not understand how unarmed guards had neutralized skilled intruders so effortlessly. His plan seemed fragile against human intelligence and precision. Suspense hung in the air. The threat was far from over. Elias Core looked around the hall, his gaze steady. We will face more challenges today, but know this: violence is not the path to peace. Understanding is, strategy is, trust is. His words echoed in the minds of all present. The audience, both alien and human, now realized that trusting humans might be the only way to survive the chaos ahead. The hall settled into tense calm. The first true test of human diplomacy and skill had ended, but the whispers of admiration and fear lingered. Everyone knew that this unarmed team of humans held secrets that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. The summit hall was quiet now, but the tension had not left. Alien delegates exchanged nervous glances, still trying to comprehend what they had seen. Humans, unarmed, had controlled chaos and protected everyone without firing a single shot. Whispers spread quickly. What is their secret? Many wondered. Elias Core walked slowly along the hall, his calm presence steadying the room. He spoke softly to his team. Observe, anticipate, and guide. The galaxy watches, and we must show them what true diplomacy is. Each human guard nodded, moving in perfect synchrony, scanning every corner, every shadow, their senses sharp. A sudden flashback appeared in Elias's mind, recalling Earth's secret programs, centuries of humans trained in mental discipline, strategy, and observation. The history was long and hidden. Civilizations had prepared humans to face threats without relying on weapons, learning to control situations with intelligence, psychology, and agility. In the present, aliens began noticing subtle hints of human advantage. Small devices on the human belts emitted a faint energy field, barely visible, yet it interfered with enemy weapons and sensors. Some alien engineers whispered to each other, could this be a defensive system? Others shook their heads. No, it is more than technology. It is instinct. The rogue faction had not given up. Hidden observers were reporting every move of the humans. They planned their next strike, but the humans were ready, predicting patterns, analyzing weaknesses, every step calculated. Each guard knew exactly how to react before the threat appeared. The audience watched in awe, unable to understand. Elias approached the alien scholar with glowing blue eyes, who had been studying humans closely. You see the difference? He asked gently. The scholar nodded. Yes. Your species uses the mind as a weapon. Your courage and anticipation are unmatched. It is not strength of arms, but strength of thought. Elias smiled, knowing the secret was slowly revealing itself. A sudden alarm flashed again. Another intruder attempted to hack the station's communication systems. Alien guards immediately reached for weapons, but humans moved calmly. One stepped forward, his fingers flying across a small control panel, redirecting energy and isolating the intruder. The hacker's attempts failed. The delegates whispered among themselves, realizing humans could handle multiple threats at once. Their mind, strategy, and skill were a form of defense far stronger than any weapon. The hall was silent in respect. Some aliens even bowed slightly, acknowledging the humans' hidden power. Elias Core spoke to the room, his voice steady and firm. Weapons can only destroy, but knowledge and strategy can protect. We do not come to conquer, we come to guide, to ensure the galaxy survives together. The words settled in the minds of all present, planting the seed of trust. Even the rogue faction's leader watched silently from afar, frustrated and confused. He could not understand how humans, unarmed, could control events with such precision. It was not just training or devices, it was something deeper, something innate. Humans had turned survival and strategy into an art. The first stage of revelation was complete. Alien delegates now understood that humans were unlike any other species, unarmed but powerful, calm but deadly in their intelligence. The hidden advantage was no longer a rumor, it was a reality, and it would shape the outcome of the summit and the galaxy beyond. The summit continued, but a shadow hung over the galaxy. Whispers of a secret alliance that planned to start a war reached the ears of the humans. Alien delegates grew uneasy, sensing that unseen forces were moving pieces across star systems. The threat was greater than anyone imagined. Elias Core stood at the center of the hall, his calm presence a beacon among growing fear. He spoke softly to his team, "Stay alert, every move counts. The galaxy's fate is fragile, and our strategy must be precise." The guards nodded, scanning every corner, their senses sharp, ready for any hidden danger. A holographic display flickered to life, showing intercepted communications. The humans decoded messages from a rogue alliance planning to sabotage multiple diplomatic centers. Their goal was simple, yet horrifying: to ignite a galaxy-wide war, destroying planets and civilizations in the process. Alien delegates gasped, fear spreading quickly. Many reached for weapons, but Elias raised his hand, signaling patience. "Violence is not the solution," he said firmly. "We must think, plan, and act with intelligence." His words echoed in the hall, reminding everyone that humans relied on mind and strategy, not brute force. Suddenly, alarms blinked. Another attack was underway, but the humans reacted with calm precision. One guard blocked the corridor, redirecting intruders without harm. Another used a small device to temporarily disable energy weapons. Every move calculated, every threat neutralized with minimal conflict. The alien delegates watched in awe, realizing the humans' unarmed approach was more powerful than any arsenal. Even the Rogue Alliance's leader, observing from afar, could not comprehend how humans kept control without weapons. He gritted his teeth, frustrated, his plan already faltering. Elias approached the Council of Elders, his voice steady. "This alliance believes fear can control the galaxy, but intelligence, trust, and strategy are far stronger. We can stop them without destroying life." The elders nodded slowly, seeing the wisdom in human methods, yet some still struggled to trust fully. Meanwhile, the Rogue Alliance activated a remote strike, targeting the station's power core. Alarms screamed, and chaos threatened to erupt. Alien guards panicked, but humans moved calmly, analyzing patterns and coordinating a defensive network, redirecting energy, sealing off dangerous areas, and protecting delegates without firing a shot. The audience realized humans were not only defending the summit, but outsmarting the enemy at every turn. The combination of anticipation, strategy, and technology gave them control, far beyond their small, unarmed appearance. Aliens whispered among themselves, their fear turning into respect and astonishment. Elias Core looked at the council, his eyes serious. "The galaxy will face threats beyond imagination, but if we act with mind and unity, no weapon can destroy what is built on trust and strategy." The words lingered, planting a seed of confidence and hope. Even the Rogue Alliance's leader had to pause, realizing that humans were a force unlike any other, unarmed, yet unstoppable in their intelligence and planning. The conspiracy that could destroy entire civilizations was now facing an unexpected wall, a species that turned unarmed diplomacy into a weapon. The stage was set for the final confrontation. Whispers of tension and anticipation filled the air. The galaxy held its breath, knowing that humans would face the ultimate test, and only their hidden strength, courage, and strategy could prevent disaster. The suspense was unbearable, and the fate of countless worlds hung in balance. The summit hall was tense. The galaxy's fate teetered on the edge. The Rogue Alliance had revealed their plan to ignite chaos, but the humans remained calm, unarmed, yet unshakable. Their presence alone seemed to command order. Elias Core stepped forward, his gaze sweeping the room. Today, we face not just enemies, but fear, suspicion, and the desire for power, he said, softly. Yet every word carried weight. The delegates listened intently, realizing that the human strength was not in weapons, but in mind, courage, and strategy. The Rogue Alliance made their final move, activating a device capable of destroying entire planets. Alarms screamed, lights flickered, and chaos threatened to erupt. Alien guards panicked, reaching for every weapon. But Elias raised his hand, signaling patience and focus. The human team sprang into action, their movements precise and coordinated, each guard using subtle devices, shields, and careful maneuvers to isolate the threat. The leader of the Rogue Alliance was stunned, his weapons useless against humans who relied on intelligence rather than force. Elias Core approached the device, his fingers flying across a console, his team guiding him, their calm focus turning what seemed impossible into achievable. The energy around the station shifted, neutralizing the destructive power of the device without harming anyone. Alien delegates gasped, realizing for the first time the true power of humans. It was not raw strength, not advanced weapons, but the ability to predict, plan, and act with perfect precision. Humans had turned strategy and understanding into a weapon, and it was stronger than anything the galaxy had ever known. The Rogue Alliance leader stared in disbelief, unable to comprehend how unarmed humans had defeated him. His plans crumbled, not with violence, but with intelligence and control. The humans had neutralized the threat while protecting countless lives. The galaxy's fragile peace remained intact. Elias turned to the council, his voice calm but firm. Humans do not need weapons to protect life. Our strength comes from our ability to think, to trust, and to act with purpose. This is the secret that has allowed our species to survive and thrive. The words echoed through the hall, leaving everyone in awe. Delegates whispered among themselves. Some bowed, others simply stared, realizing that humans had evolved in a way no other species could match. Their history of constant conflict on Earth had shaped them to survive without reliance on destructive tools, turning mind and willpower into the ultimate weapon. Even the Rogue Alliance's remnants could not deny it. Humans were unarmed, yet they had saved the galaxy, preventing war and destruction through intelligence, discipline, and courage. The summit ended with humans not as conquerors, but as guardians, earning the respect and fear of every species present. Elias Core smiled, looking at his team, proud yet calm. This is only the beginning. The galaxy is full of challenges, but as long as we rely on our strength of mind and unity, no weapon can destroy what we protect. His words lingered in every mind, a promise of hope and vigilance. The story closed with the unspoken truth echoing in the hearts of all present humans. Though unarmed, held the power to change the course of the galaxy, not with fire or steel, but with courage, strategy, and the unbreakable will to survive and protect. The ultimate revelation was clear. The galaxy had found its hidden guardians,